People on the ground here in the Syrian capital, Damascus, but also in other areas of Syria as well, say that they're obviously very happy about this ceasefire, which has led to a significant decrease in violence all around the country. That's according to the United Nations. But of course, people here are also not going to get overly optimistic about this at this stage just yet. Many of them say, look, they've been in this situation before. They've had local ceasefires in Syrian towns. They've had nationwide ceasefires that were brokered mostly between the United States and Russia. And in every one of those cases, either after a few hours or after a few days, these ceasefires fell apart and there was a return to violence. So you don't see overly optimistic people, but at the same time, of course, they are hoping that all of this could work out and could become a longer-term cessation of hostilities. Now, while there's less violence in Syria, the big problem with the ceasefire is that the United Nations has not been able to deliver any aid just yet, especially to those besieged areas in many parts of the country. Of course, there are hundreds of thousands of people who are under siege, some from the Syrian government, some by rebel groups, and many also by ISIS as well. One of the main areas that the UN wants to reach is the besieged part of Aleppo. That's the rebel-held eastern part of the city. They say they have some 40 trucks packed with aid waiting in Turkey on the Syrian border, ready to move, but the big problem is they don't have permission from the Syrian government to deliver those goods, and they also don't have sufficient security guarantees from the Syrian government and also from rebel groups to assure that those trucks have safe passage into the areas that they want to reach. And we know from the United Nations, from other aid groups as well, that that aid is badly needed. There was heavy fighting in the area around Aleppo before the cessation of hostilities went into effect, and that area is also suffering under massive shortages and has been for a considerable amount of time. Fred Pleitgen, Damascus.